Hey folks, this is Man once again coming in with another review. This is a film of Ghostbusters. Now, Ghostbusters decided to do a review for this as well. I'll be doing the sequel since Ramis passed away a little while ago. And I wanted to rewatch these films. Fuck Ghostbusters 3. I said it before, I say it again. If you're not going to have the Ghostbusters, this is not the fucking Ghostbusters. Stallone in a Rocky film is Rocky. When it's not Stallone, it's not a Rocky film. When Stallone's not in a Rambo film, it's not a Rambo film. When Harrison Ford's not in an Indiana Jones film, it's not an Indiana Jones film. If you don't have those guys, it's not a Ghostbusters film. I'm sorry. Fuck Ghostbusters 3. Fucked it up its ass. But I fear also because I had reviewed Evolution, which I enjoy, Evolution, and that was directed by Ivan Reitman. Why not review and go back and watch really one of the most popular comedies of all time, Ghostbusters. This is a collector series. It has some features. It has a commentator with Ramis, Ivan Reitman, and there's another guy, I forget what the other guy is. Some deleted scenes, some little ones from back in the day. 1999 Star featurette, special effects team documentary, original featurette, trailers. Now, I remember hearing there is supposed to be a documentary being made in Ghostbusters called Cleaning Up the Town. Cleaning Up the Town, which is supposed to talk about both Ghostbusters 1 and 2. I know there's a trailer on YouTube, and they have a Facebook page as well. I don't know what's going on with that. As of right now, I have no idea. I would think they're getting ready since this year's the 30th anniversary of Ghostbusters, 1984, and it's 2014, 30 years. But I would like to see that because, there's some features on here, but, a good documentary would be appreciated. Again, it's one of the most popular comedies of all time. And one more thing to say about Ghostbusters that hasn't been said. I mean, you have so many lines of dialogue. This is one of those films I can watch over and over again, never gets tiring. It's when people ask, well, what are those movies you can pop in and you don't get tired of? Like Predator would be one for me, Leviathan would be one for me, Aliens, this one would be one of them. There's a lot of films like that, and there's so many lines of dialogue like, "Are you menstruating right now? What's that got to do with anything? Back off, man. I'm a scientist." Or when he goes, "Is this true?" "Yes, it's true. This man has no dick." I mean, I'm just smiling just thinking about it. I mean, of course, everyone in the cast, Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis, Ernie Hudson, Sigourney Weaver, Rick Moranis, Annie Potts, Walter Peck, who's William Atherton. You even have a small part, like a little cameo part from Sergeant Al Powell, Reginald VelJohnson from Die Hard and Family Matters. He's in like a little tiny cameo part, and just one of those films. What can I go into? It's a very funny film. It's a very novel, interesting, creative concept. A bunch of guys who are scientists. They get kicked out. They're able to figure out how to catch ghosts. So Bill Murray and them decide, hey, let's make a business out of this. And to catch ghosts and charge people money and sort of the business side of things. Like getting this rundown place, and Harold Ramis Egon is like, this should be condemned, but then Dan Aykroyd, he's like, hey, does this pole still work? Wow, you gotta check this. You gotta try this pole. I don't get my stuff. We should stay, for the night, just to test it out. Just a hilarious film. I mean, of course, the original concept, Dan Aykroyd, I believe, came up with it. And my friend Mike, OCB Communications, he did a long review, which has a lot of information. If you want to know a lot of information about the Ghostbusters movie, definitely check out his review, his retrospective, because he had a lot of info on the making of the film, the original scripts, and so on. I know Dan Aykroyd's buddy, Belushi, John Belushi, was going to be, I think, the Bill Murray part. But unfortunately, John Belushi passed away by then. And some would say that the Slimer ghost is sort of an ode to Belushi. Some, have said it's like the ghost of Belushi, sort of an ode to that. But I know John Belushi, but then they got Bill Murray. I think a few people like Chevy Chase and other people turning down, which I'm fine with because I thought Bill Murray fit the role perfectly as Peter Venkman. He was born to play those kind of parts. And again, I'm a big fan of Bill Murray. Meatballs, What About Bob, Stripes of Love, Scrooged, even his lesser known films like Larger Than Life and Where the Buffalo Roams I enjoy. So I'm a big Bill Murray fan. Again, I thought all these guys did a great job. I know John Candy at one point was going to be in the film as the Rick Moranis part, but he wanted to have like dogs of his own. And they're like, well, there's too many dogs because we already have these dogs that are sort of demon dogs, and then you have dogs. But also John Candy wanted to do like a German accent as the character of Tully. And they're like, no, German accent. And I agree, German accent would not have worked for the John Candy to do that in the Rick Moranis role. So they got Rick Moranis, which was fine. He fit the role well. What was it? Eddie Murphy was approached to do this, I believe, as the Winston character. And in fact, in the earlier strip, the Winston character Ernie Hudson plays, he's in the film more. He came into the film much earlier. And if Eddie Murphy played it, he would have... Again, I don't know. I haven't read the original script or anything, so I don't know when exactly he would come into play in the film, but it would be much earlier than Ernie Hudson did. Because Ernie Hudson's character comes in pretty late in the film. But because they didn't get Eddie Murphy, they decided to change the script and push that character back further in the film. Which worked out for both because Eddie Murphy came out with Beverly Hills Cop in the same year, which is another great comedy. Although someone would say if Eddie Murphy could somehow have worked the schedule to do both films, because he would, which I don't know if he could, but if he could, imagine that. Imagine if Eddie Murphy could work the schedule to do both films. That would have been a hell of a year for Eddie Murphy. But at the same time, they both won out. You know, everyone, Ernie Hudson did fine. He did just fine. And then, of course, Eddie Murphy did Beverly Hills Cop. The movie that was supposed to be Cobra before Cobra with Stallone. So it's weird, like all these what ifs. But it worked out well because I love Cobra, I love Beverly Hills Cop, and I love Ghostbusters. So it all worked out for me. And like I said, they're scientists, and I really like the special effects. I know a lot of people see the special effects are dated, but it's 1984, and for 1984, I'm fine with the special effects. I mean, even the opening with the librarian woman, just the simple practical stuff of the no cars flying up and just the bullets passing by. They're not CGI. They look real because it is real. What a concept. It looks real because it is real books and stuff. And of course you have the great Ray Parker Jr. song, which I think he got sued because Huey Lewis said it's like the song, I want a new drug. Da, 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 da. But between the two, I like Ghostbusters song better. I mean, that's a famous... I don't think Ray Parker Jr. really got that much money from that song because he got sued, and then Sony didn't pay him a lot of money for what he was owed. So Ray Parker Jr. got pretty much screwed from the deal, which is too bad. But Ghostbusters is one of the most famous theme songs in movie history. You know, who you gonna call? Ghostbusters. I mean, everybody remembers that theme song. Everybody. And real quick on the music, I thought the Elmer Bernstein, who I don't think is no longer with us, I thought he did a great job with the score. Like, dun, 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 ba, da, 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 da. I really enjoyed the score. I thought the score fit the film very well. I also liked a lot of the songs, like Saving the Day, Saving the Day, ba, da, da, da. Or Please, it's kind of magic, magic. It's a kind of magic, magic, magic. I can't remember the exact title of the songs, but I thought the soundtrack worked well, especially the Ghostbusters theme. And I really liked the score by Elmer Bernstein, who has worked with, I think he did the score to Stripes. Could be wrong. I think he did the score for Stripes. And of course, Ivan Reitman produced and directed the film. I thought he did a great job with it. His original idea. That's what happens when you get an original idea, and this film, when it came out, became such a phenomenon that again, one of the most popular comedies of all time. I'll stand by that. There has not been a film in the past 10 years that's funnier than Ghostbusters. So it's when I get to the sequel, that's a tough hill, mountain, fucking skyscraper to climb. That's a tall order to follow up Ghostbusters. A real tall order that I don't think much could pass. But of course, you get introduced to the characters. In the simple, you say Hal Ramis is the brains, Dan Aykroyd's the heart, and Bill Murray is the mouth. And even when he's testing like this guy and this girl about whether he can see these cards, and he's lying his ass off because he wants to get in the girl's pants, pretty much, because even the guy, anytime the guy gets a question wrong, he zaps him, even to spits his gum out. But the girl is getting like all of them wrong, and he's like, "Oh, good job," And even the guy gets one of them wrong, one of them right, because he says a bunch of wavy lines, and it is. He's like, "I'm sorry. I'll tell you the effect. It's pissing me off." Well, I guess my theory is stop. You can keep the $5. I will, mister. See, I mean, just so many lines of dialogue I can remember. Because Dan Aykroyd comes in, gets him there, and what Bill Murray does to Egon, Hal Ramis, Egon, like knock on the table because Hal Ramis is listening, and he does like Egon. It scares the shit out of him. And then tosses the woman, is like, "Are you menstruating right now? What's that got to do with anything?" "Back off, man. I'm a scientist." And just like all the dialogue is like, the books. "Yes, Ray, you're right. No human would stab books like this." And they see the ghost, and Bill Murray's like, "Okay, what do we do? Can you come here for a minute? Can you come here for a minute? Okay, what do we do?" And then Egon's doing this. "Stop that!" Bill Murray just seems to just beating the hell out of Egon. He says, "Stop that!" And then Ray's big plan. "Get her!" And great look of the ghost and scares the shit out of him. And Bill Murray's like, "Oh, great plan, Ray. Get her." And that's where you find out that they would be able to actually catch ghosts, and they get kicked out. And then, like, Dan Aykroyd doesn't know what they're going to do because they got kicked out. And Bill Murray has that great speech. "Ray, call it fate. Call it karma. I believe we were..." Yeah, I forget the exact... "I believe we were supposed to be kicked out there for a reason." "For what reason?" "For what purpose?" "To go into business of our own." And I mean, I've seen this movie so many times, I didn't remember the build of the music when, call it fate, call it karma. That's how many times I've seen this movie throughout the years, ever since I was a kid. And I'm one of those that I can't really... There's not many films that I remember the first time I saw. I really have a poor memory of back then. Like, there really are not a lot of movies I remember the first time seeing, so I don't know how I first saw a lot of movies the first time. But I know I saw this a lot when I was a kid, as I'm sure a lot of people did. And then, again, the house where they're going to put their supplies. Again, the hearse, that's a piece of shit. And, of course, later on gets painted to the ectomobile, so to speak. Even the Sigourney Weaver's character, you have a simple but cool effect with the eggs popping up and frying and opening the fridge door, and you have this weird look of another world and these demon-type dogs, and a lot of practical stuff, which is really cool to look at, even from back in 1984. It's cool to look at today. And Sigourney Weaver sees this really cheesy commercial from the guys did, so she goes up to them, checking her out, and of course saying that, Bill Murray goes, "How about I take her back to her place and check her out? I mean, I'll check out her apartment." There's a little flub of a line. Even coming in there and just, trying to act cool, and she's like, "You don't remind me of science, you remind me of a game show host. I'll prove myself to you." No kiss, pushes him out. I mean, I'm going all over the place, but I just remember so many lines of dialogue. Like, "Oh my god, Look at all the junk food. You actually eat this stuff. No, goddamn it. There was animals in there. It's like, I don't see any live animals in there now. You have them getting their first job at this place, and that's where you have Slimer. I think he was called Slimer in the cartoon. Because later on, they'd say Slimer in Ghostbusters 2, because I think the cartoon called it Slimer. But you have them. I can't help it. There's just so many lines of dialogue I remember. Like they have the guy there waiting for the elevator. What are you guys, exterminators? Yeah, someone saw a cockroach on floor 12. Must be some cockroach. He'll bite your head off, man. I thought Bill Murray is an expert at pulling these lines out of his, whether it's out of his ass or in the script, whichever one. And then them waiting in the elevator, and someone turns on the boom of the proton pack, and they gotta move out of the way so they don't want to, in case they get killed. And then Edon and Ray like blasting a poor woman maid's table. Whoa, 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 whoa! We should split up. Yeah, that's a good idea. We'll do more damage that way. And then Bill Murray getting slimed. Oh, he slimed me. Finding Slimer. Edon hitting the stuff. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Nice shooting, Tex. And really exciting scene. It's again a really cool idea. Have these things. Again, I don't know when they called them proton packs. Again, that might have been the cartoon. But having these proton packs and a trap and catching a ghost and putting them in. Such a cool idea. It's an original idea. I mean, I know there was a cartoon back in the day called Ghostbusters, but it was nothing like this. This is much better. That one had like a gorilla and shit in it. But that cartoon, like back in the day, this of course, I like a lot more. Let's see. They catch the ghost and they're like, it's going to cost you $4,000, but today we had something special and we have a good deal, so this one thing is going to be just $1,000. $5,000? I didn't know it'd be so much. I won't pay it. Okay, we'll take you right back. And of course, before that, we kicked his ass. Of course, them being popular, and you have the Ghostbusters theme, and them going all around town. You don't see a lot of ghosts. You just see them, the aftermath, in like newspaper clippings. And even without seeing the ghosts and just seeing them, the aftermath with the music and the montage, still a fun sequence. And you have the whole thing where, again, Dana's apartment, you find out that something's up with it, until sooner or later she gets possessed. Moranis' character gets possessed. Demon Daw's like chasing after him. He's trying to pound this door that people can see him. He gets pretty much caught and no one gives a shit. Well, Bill Murray, when he goes to see Sigourney Weaver, I want you inside me. Is this a trick question? Oh, okay. No, I can't. Looks like there's one too many people inside you right now. Of course, that makes me think of later on when they're in jail. I forgot what it was, the exact quote. It's she was great on the covers. 4 feet above the covers. I just remember so many things. I mean, even the Walter Peck character, the prick character from the EPA. You can see the magic word. The magic word. Please. Please see the containment facility. And of course, he comes back and makes them shut it off and goes kaboom. And by that time, Ernie Hudson has come by to look at it, to make sure, not make sure, but Ernie Hudson becomes the new part of the team. And this is when sort of they've sort of been at it for a while. They've been at it for a while. And just looking something up real quick. They've been at it for a while. And they're sort of getting tired of it and stuff like that. It's one of those films that I know I'm going step by step on the movie. You guys have already seen the movie, so I don't know why I do it, but just everything about it just goes at a fast pace, and I can't really say anything bad about this film. I can't say anything bad about this movie. Um, when they get arrested, they get put in jail, and they're talking about the building schematics, and Winston, Ernie Hudson's like, listen, I don't mean no offense, but I gotta get myself, get a lawyer by myself, pretty much. Now, of course, the great scene where they're talking to the mayor and Walter Peck. Like, I think it was Dan Aykroyd called Dickless here shut off the containment. These men called an explosion. Is this true? Yes, it's true. This man has no dick. Wait, that's what I heard. And they're talking about fire and brimstone will be coming from the heavens. Dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. Yes, I get the point. But if we can't stop this, I forget what the mayor's name. Mayor, you have saved the lives of millions of registered voters. Of course, that makes the mayor say, okay. And of course, I mean, I'm skipping stuff. Of course, all the ghosts that pop up. I mean, when Sigourney Weaver's standing in the building and the whole thing explodes and she's there right behind it. You have all these different ghosts, like the cab driver type and all these other things flying around. Great finale. Great ending. I mean, they get together to this building. And of course, before the big epic finale, they have to slowly go up the stairs and they get tired from it, which I thought that was like a fun, real moment. And like the apartment, Dana Barrett, Sigourney Weaver's apartment's gone. It's like, where is it? And then there's some stairs there. Where did these stairs go? They go up. They go up. Let's show this prehistoric bitch how we do things downtown. And are you a god? No. And when someone says that you're a god, you say yes. And Ernie Hudson has another good line before that when they're talking to the mayor. It's like, Mayor, I have seen shit that'll turn you white. I can't help it. I just keep mentioning dialogue, but that's what's great about this movie. It's a very funny movie. These are very likable characters, but they're grounded characters. They're characters that are just sort of, even though they're scientists, but in a way that kind of I almost want to say blue collar because they're coming up for a business of their own, and they're regular guys. They're regular guys, but they know a little thing or two about it. Especially Bill Murray is definitely a regular guy, and there's an extraordinary situation. That's sort of a very fun thing to play off. A Gozer, or was it Zool? I forgot if it was Gozer or Zool. Can't believe I forgot. God, was it Gozer or Zool? They're like, oh, it's a girl. I cannot fucking remember. Which was Gozer, which was Zool? I can't believe I forgot. I think that name was Gozer. But what the hell was Zool then? God, I can't believe I forgot. Calm down, Throw. It's not that bad to forget. Zool the Gatekeeper. And Clortho the Keymaster. I think Zool is the one that possesses Sigourney Weaver. So Gozer, the reason I mentioned Gozer is that that's a feeder that they say it's a female, but it can take any form it wants. I guess originally it was supposed to be Paul Rubens. This is Pee Wee Herman, but I think this is when he was doing stuff like Cheech and Chong's next movie, like bit parts. I don't think his TV show Pee Wee's Playhouse and stuff was around that time. So Paul Rubens was sort of an unknown, kind of an unknown at that time. But They zap at it. It goes up, flips over, it disappears, and that's, you know, after someone says they're a god, you say yes. And then, you know, choose your form destructor. It has been chosen. Like, whoa, whoa. Bill Murray's like, whoa, whoa. I didn't choose anything. Do you choose anything? I didn't choose anything. You know, what did you do, Ray? I thought it was something innocent. It's the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. And they did this big. I mean, think about it. Think how silly of an idea it is. A fucking Stay Puft Marshmallow Man destroying New York, and they made it work with really great special effects, funny lines. Well, he's a sailor guy. We get this guy laid. We're okay. No problem. No one steps on a church in my town. And then them frying the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, shooting at it. Just very entertaining, very fun, very funny stuff. And then getting together and you realize they gotta cross the streams. And, you know, they show this prehistoric bitch how they do things downtown. And they pretty much cross the streams, shoot at it, it blows up. Fine Dandy makes the doorway go backwards, saves the world. Sigourney Weaver and Rip Moranis underneath the dead dog stuff is them underneath. They pull that shit out. They get out of there. Ernie Hudson goes, I love this town. You have the great Ghostbusters theme as they head off home and people are cheering for it. It's just a fun movie that most of the review is just me quoting dialogue from the film. Because this is one of those films that is absolutely quotable. And whether it was in the script or it was improv, it's just one of those films that just has a great energy to it. It has a fun energy to it. It has an energy that makes you smile. I just cannot find much wrong with it. You know, who you gonna call? Ghostbusters. I mean, everyone remembers that. Everyone remembers lines. We came, we saw, we kicked his ass. You know, it's going to cost you 4 big ones, $4,000 for that. But we're having a special this week on proton charging, blah, blah, blah. So, and that's only going to come to $1,000. The hassling on the price, you know, like a business would. And everyone in the film did a great job. I cannot think of a bad thing about this movie. I cannot think of a bad thing to say about this movie. I mean, even the hardware, the Proton Packs, and the way they were, it's very cool, visually appealing. The way the suits look, the way the logo of the Ghostbusters logo looks. It's classic, it's memorable, it's iconic, I would say. This is the second one, but people remember that image. You know, the ghost with the no sign in it. Everyone remembers that. Everyone remembers these suits. Everyone remembers the Proton Packs. Everyone remembers, you know, the traps. Everyone remembers the theme song. People remember quotes from this movie. I put a post on Facebook, and people remember quotes from this film. It's one of those things that it just makes you smile, makes you have a good time. If you want to laugh, pop in Ghostbusters and you laugh, you smile, you love these characters. They're likable characters. You know, all of them. Oh, another one I wanted to mention before. Even moments like, that's not comedy, but when Ernie Hudson and Dan Aykroyd are driving, and you have that sort of cool type of music. Boom, dun, dun, dun. I'm doing a shitty job of it, but it's when Ernie Hudson's talking about how what do you think? Do you believe in God? Have you read the Bible? What do you think about Judgment Day? And Dan was like, well, everyone has a myth about Judgment Day. Myth? But don't you think that we've been busy because the dead have been rising from the grave? Let's turn on some music. Even that little scene I really enjoyed. I don't know why. Just the way it's set up in that. I really enjoy that. Just a lot of stuff. Little stuff as well as the big picture. I mean, again, a finale where these guys fight off a Marshmallow Man with really good special effects. I think the Marshmallow Man, Stay Puft, still looks great. When everything explodes and the whole top of the building explodes and people on the ground getting doused in big old splashes of marshmallow. Again, the music, Elmer Bernstein's score, as well as the songs, are good soundtrack. Again, the very memorable Ray Parker Jr. Ghostbusters theme. Rip Moranis, he did a good job as Sigourney Weaver's neighbor of Tully. Was it Tully? I think it was Louis Tully. Could be wrong on that. I can't remember Ray Stantz, Egon Spangler, Peter Venkman, Winston. I mean, I can't remember these characters' names. That's how. Yeah. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, I like the idea of the plot as well. Is that it's more about how they build this business, almost in a real way. Like it's such a crazy idea, but them trying to get money to buy the building. What building are they going to pay? Buying this piece of crap thing. The first job, a lot of things go wrong. They fuck up. They're, no, nice shooting, Ted. So the fact is, it doesn't go off perfectly, and they're still trying to figure things out. And don't look at the trap. I looked at the trap, Ray. No, that's okay. Look away when I hit it. That's what I like. I mean, it shows that okay, this is their first time. Makes you buy into it. When it's that sort of reality, it makes you buy into the fantasy even better. That's why I like when you have characters react to something in a realistic way, or even in a maybe realistic isn't the right word, but like react like how I would. Like when Bill Murray first sees Slimer, says, Dan Aykroyd's talking on the radio. Oh, he's an ugly sucker, huh? Watch it, Ray. I think he can hear you. He's looking at me. He's like, don't move. It won't hurt you. It comes at him, Bill Murray screaming, ah, and then he slimed me. And then later on, that's the one who got me. I'm going to keep going on and on about it, but Ghostbusters is an absolute classic. Nothing wrong I can say about it. Love this film. It's one of those films like Predator and such that I know it's weird, like Predator's an action film I can rewatch, Die Hard. This is a film I can rewatch anytime, and it doesn't get old. I still laugh as much as I did. I can't remember the first time I saw it, but I'm sure the first time I saw it. Who knows, maybe more, because I was a kid, maybe I didn't understand it, but just everything about this film works so well. And you don't get that many creative ideas like this in today's age. And again, this is funnier than any comedy in the past 10 years. Yes, including Hangover and any of those films. This is funnier. It's much more creative. It's much more entertaining. It's much more fun. And it just has a lot of creative juices and just a lot of funny as hell stuff in it. But I can't praise Ghostbusters enough. So thanks for watching. Take care. And stay tuned for, in my opinion, the underrated sequel, Ghostbusters 2. See you later.